Hello again, Jared Case here, curator of film exhibitions at the Dryden Theater and the George Eastman Museum, with another Thanksgiving streaming recommendation for you. We've got another film about going home for the holidays, but this is not about the problem with the family once you get home. It's the problems with getting home itself, that dreaded holiday travel. And of course, that film is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles from 1987, written and directed by John Hughes, one of only 8 films that Hughes actually directed. And purportedly, the script was written only in 3 days by Hughes, although it went through many, many rewrites after that. And according to stories, the shooting script was something like 145 pages long. So there was much more even that was shot and cut out of the film before it was released theatrically. Now, I can tell you from experience, when we last showed this film in 2018, it was still very, very popular, and we had almost a full house for that. So we're looking forward to the time when we can welcome people back and show you these things on the big screen. In the film, we meet Neal Page, played by Steve Martin, who is an advertising executive at a meeting in New York City. He is eager to get home to his family in Chicago, however, his supervisor is keeping him late. When he finally does get out of the office with time running short before his flight takes off and a scarcity of cabs, he finally does flag one down. However, as he's haggling over price with the cabbie, the cab is stolen by shower ring salesman Griffith, played by John Candy. So Neal is forced to take the bus to JFK. However, when he gets to the airport, who does he see there but Dell? He confronts him about stealing the cab, and Dell apologizes, offers to buy him a beer and a hot dog to make up for it. However, they part ways only to find themselves sitting next to each other on the plane to Chicago. Bad weather, as we know in western upstate New York, and not to mention New York and Chicago, as weather is bad, the flight gets redirected to Wichita, Kansas, because O'Hare has shut down. So when the plane does touch down, we find that flights have been canceled. Dell and Neal are forced to get a hotel room together, and at this point they're basically stuck together as they try to get back to Chicago, not through a plane, but they try a train, they try a bus, they try renting a car, and the adventures that come out of this are very much based in sort of that odd couple mode, where Steve Martin is playing the Felix Unger role and John Candy is the Oscar Madison type. And although production started in March of that year and the crew was expecting bad weather, which they could use for the film, it was unseasonably warm. So they actually had to chase the bad weather, moving to different locations around the Midwest and Northeast in order to get the conditions that they needed to represent it. But still, they had to sometimes import snow or use movie magic to recreate the idea that these places were in the middle of a snowstorm, which would delay travel. In fact, some of the scenes that you see in the film were actually shot here in western New York, including along the Interstate I-90 near Batavia, New York, and on an unfinished portion of US 219 between Buffalo and Springville, New York. In fact, word has it that the train engine used in the film is still in Gowanda, New York, with that Contract logo on the side. And of course, it's Contract, conflation of Conrail and Amtrak, because none of the transportation companies wanted to have their actual logos or names used in the film. They didn't want to appear inefficient or unable to do their job. So now this film is for digital rental on your various suspects. You can get it somewhere. I'm sure it will be playing on one of the cable channels multiple times over the Thanksgiving weekend. But it is a great film still, 33 years old now, and we hope that you watch it and come back for some more streaming recommendations.